Welcome to Blonde Highlights. I'm your host, Kris Yo.
And I'm Kyle Hennessy.
We're so excited you guys are here, so let's get into it. Oh my God, it's been a hot minute.
A hot minute. Yes, where have you been?
We went on vacation. We took a week off. It was Canada Day, 4th of July, and we were like, we need to take a week off. I went camping with my husband, Michael. We went up north in Ontario, and we got a little cabin, and yeah, we spent some time in nature, darling.
Nature, darling. I
Nature,
love
darling.
Miss Gemma Collins. Yeah, well, you did that. My friend was like, hey girl, what are you doing this weekend? You want to go to Palm Springs? And I'm like, I never say no to Palm Springs. And then later that week was the 4th of July, and we went to the beach. Like, I spent the entire day at the beach. We were drinking twisted teas. We were taking shots. We were swimming in the ocean. We were doing it.
No, I'm jealous. You know what? Like where I was, we decided to have a beach day, and it was like the shittiest beach I ever went to. We left. Like we sat down, we ate a rice cake with Nutella on it, and then we were like, this is so gross. Like, cause the water was so far out, you had to walk like a mile before you could even like get it to go to your chest. And our beach was shit where we were. I was so disappointed, but that sounds like a fantastic time. We had like two totally different vacations.
You were Lake Huron?
And yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the beach, like, okay, so I went to, like, the gay beach in, LA. Like, it's like you're just north of Santa Monica. It's like Will Rogers. And it's a vibe. Like, it's a party. It's a party. Like, we got there at 10 a.m. to set up a tent. And then, of course, we gotta drag the coolers. We gotta drag all the seats and the things. And it's all about who had the coolest tent. Then there was the bougie gays that I swear to God had a Louis Vuitton, like, beach set. Like, with the umbrellas and the
Shut up.
chairs and the blankets and the little things and the towels. Yes.
Oh my God. Like $10,000 set plus.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I didn't really on vacation. I mean, Palm Springs is like 2 hours away. I was there for like 48 hours. And we had fun, you know. I went to my favorite place, like La Consuela's, and got, a margarita, listened to a live band. Do you know what that feeling when they got like a margarita and there's a live band playing like 70s rock and you're just like,
oh, yes. When it's like the rock and roll and you're like, yeah, I am.
yeah.
Yeah, I am.
And it was all these like beautiful women that were like in their like probably 50s or 60s, and they were just like, this is their jam. And I was like, oh my God, that was like the vibe. Like, that's the vibe that I like right there.
That way when I called you today, you were listening to Van Halen radio. Like, are you still mentally in that moment?
Kind of. But see, I was still in my brat era then. But I go through music, like, I go through cycles. Do you know what I mean? Like, I will be like a hardcore country music listener for like a month. And then I'm like, it's like super hyper pop, Charlie XCX, just like playing. And then I'll wake up one morning and I'm like, Van Halen.
I feel like that's just like my all around playlist. It just jumps around like that every day,
Yeah, it
every
jumps
hour.
around.
Like it's always all over the place. But to be honest, when we were camping, we got rained out the one day and we came home early. We came home a day early because there were so many black flies. I was like we went to this one place so we could climb a cliff, and we did that. And then when you go to the one side of the cliff, you see like blue waters. And we don't really have that in Ontario.
Yeah.
So it's like a little hidden gem. And when we went there, I thought it was going to be like really quiet, like because it's a hidden gem. I know it's a tourist area, but I wasn't expecting it to be this touristy to the point where there was one rock and there was a lineup of girls waiting to lay on it to take their photos. Like it was some influencer in the wild shit, like kids playing. The water's so cold so you can't really swim, so people are just putting their toes in it.
Yeah.
And right beside them, there's these girls just like spreading out on these rocks. And I get it, you got to get your content shot, but I was like, damn, this is like right beside kids. It was so funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but we ended up going home. I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm like really a camping person anymore. I've always been one to want to be out in a cabin and to be in the outdoors. And yeah, no, I don't fully know if that's me anymore. I
Really?
don't know. I don't know. I didn't. Okay, so the first time we got there, they made a mistake and they didn't have our premium cabin booked. So we had to sleep in like a regular cabin, which didn't have my own shower. And
Um,
like, I'm not a communal person anymore. I'm just
yeah.
not. I didn't shower for 2 days until I got my own shower.
Oh
And Michael's like,
no.
I know. Neither did Michael because I just didn't want to go in the communal shower. Like there's so many like families and like it was just like a weird and like the showers were in the same spot as like the actual toilets. It was just so weird. Like people are having morning showers
Yeah.
and morning peas at the same time.
Uh,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
I just went without.
yeah. Yeah. So a few years ago, before like the pandemic started, I went on this crazy trip to Mykonos and I stayed in a wild freaking hostel on the beach. Okay. But when I arrived, I didn't realize that I was basically camping. Okay. And I had a meltdown because I'm like, but then I woke up and I'm like, I'm by the beach. It's okay. I'm camping by the beach. But it was communal showers and communal bathrooms at a campsite. And it's like everybody was just like getting blackout drunk and like messy and throwing up. It was just so
No,
disgusting.
it's so gross. I
So
just,
gross.
in
And
my
there was this,
20s for sure. In my 30s,
yeah.
no.
And there was
No.
this guy in my cabin that was like from, like he was this Israeli guy. And we found out he was like giving blowies in the communal showers. And
Oh my God.
it was so
Dirty things.
disgusting.
Dirty things were happening in those showers. He wasn't the
Yes.
only one, okay? There
Yeah.
was all kinds of action in those showers. Ugh.
Yeah. You
No.
literally need to wear like those platform sandals, you know? So you're
Oh
like
my.
elevated off the nasty floor in the showers.
I literally went without. I would rather go out.
That's for kids. We're gonna leave that for kids. Like,
Yeah.
no, we're done with that. We're done with that era of our lives.
No. But then
Yeah.
when we came back, it was so busy because we opened our pizza trailer. So our
Oh,
business partner opened it when we were away. And
yeah.
then we've taken it over when we got back and he went away. And oh my God, it has been like crazy setting this thing up, figuring out all the systems. Like we're just in a soft open, but it's been so busy and we didn't realize it was going to be this busy. Like it has been
Mm.
like lineup busy. And so yeah, I've been trying to figure out like all the policies, procedures, opening, closing, all of that, training some staff. So we've been busy. I actually had people on my social media. I didn't know people cared so much being like, are you okay? Where are you? Cause I
Oh,
haven't, and then I looked and I was like, I didn't post on my Instagram for like 20 days just cause I was just
oh
like
wow.
straight out, just busy, like away, we took some time off.
Yeah, yeah, we took some time off, and it was crazy because like at the salon, I've been so insanely busy. Like everybody's getting color right now. There's literally a shortage of like hair lightener because everyone's getting highlights because it got summer real quick. It's hot. Everyone needs to be fresh. So I've been busy as hell, and that was the thing. The day after the 4th of July, I had to go into the salon and do like a set of extensions, and I was literally so tired, and it was like the 4th of July, like I was drinking some twisted teas and I had a couple shots, but I wasn't drinking very much at all. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and I was definitely not like drunk or nothing like that because I knew I had to work the next day, but I was so exhausted. And I think all that sun just sucked the life out of me,
Yeah, it'll do that.
because our like tent broke. And so we had to take the tent down so that we were
No.
fully exposed to the sun.
Oh my God, your temp broke. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah. So it was just bad because I'm just there baking in the sun.
I think the worst part though is that you were like popped up beside like Louis Vuitton setup and your tent just like broke.
Yes, yes, yes. And then before the tent broke, they're looking back like, this trash. But before the tent broke, my friend, like, he's super, like, proud to be an American. You know what I mean? He's very patriotic, okay? And he's like, we gotta get this American flag up. So we're both like quite buzzed trying to get this freaking American flag through this like the pull of the tent, and it took us literally like 20 minutes, and everyone's like, what is going on? And we're like, we're gonna get this flag up.
You're like, this is white trash America.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know what Michael wore for Canada Day? He wore one of those
What?
umbrella hats. It's like one of ththose umbrella hats that you wear, and it was just like the Canada flag.
No.
I was like, wow.
I forgot about this existence. I didn't know that Canada had like a Canada Day the same time as 4th of July.
Yeah, it's July 1st.
July 1st?
Mm-hmm. July
Oh,
1st.
interesting. Do you
That's
guys do
why,
fireworks?
yeah, we do the fireworks, we do the whole thing. But that's part of the reason why we got married on July 2nd, because it's always like a long weekend around it. Part of the reason.
Oh. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's something about the 4th of July that makes me a little feral, you know? A little feral.
So patriotic and shit.
Yes, yes.
Different
And,
sides
oh my
coming
God,
out.
I don't know, like, if you're watching on video, I got so freaking tan. Like, this is no spray tan. This is, like, natural tan. I have these crazy tan lines. I'm wearing a tube top, you know?
Girl's looking burnt. She's over here trying to convince everyone, being like, guys, this is not a spray tan. You're red. Like, I would.
Oh. Okay, listen, okay? We're gonna get into my low light right now, which is the fact that I got burnt to a goddamn crisp, okay? Oh my God, like for days trying to take a shower, hurt. Laying down, hurt. Sitting, hurt. Everything. The back of my kneecaps were fried.
Oh my God, that's the worst. Did you get aloe
Yes!
lotion? Did you
But
get
this
aloe
is my
lotion?
tan though. Like, this redness is how I tan.
I mean, it's pretty. It's nice.
But I'm gonna send you a photo separately that I took. Like, that is fucking gnarly. Like, gnarly. And I hate this. Like, I am too old. Do you know how embarrassing it was to show up to work the next day like a goddamn lobster? I'm
Like,
34 years old. You know?
why is it like you've been outside sunbaking in your backyard?
I know. But it's just embarrassing. Like, when you're, like, young, it's like, oh, they got sunburn. At 34, it's like, you know better. You know better.
No, that's like when last year we went to Cuba and I got sun poisoning. And because the sun was so hot on me, by the end of it, I was lathering up the suntan lotion all over my face so much to the point where I looked like a freaking like actual ghost, okay? Looked like somebody put a pie on my face. And then the
Yeah.
resort was like, let's all take a group photo. And Michael like swam me up to the photo. And so now everybody who was there, everyone was taking photos, and it's just me in the back in like a UV like long sleeve shirt, and like looks like I have pie all over my face. It's my sunscreen, and Michael's like, people are gonna look back on these photos and be like, what the fuck is that?
That's hilarious. Oh my God. But
Oh my God. So my low light is I can't stop watching and I need to, but I keep getting on my Instagram feed all these accessories for Stanley Cups.
oh
Have
my
you seen
God.
like the Stanley Cup backpack?
You sent me that. And I was like,
Okay.
I'm like low key into it, but also like I can't go down that road, you know?
I'm hate watching Stanley Cups because it's like amazing to me that these people take these mugs and then put such tiny, intricate things on them and
Mm-hmm.
can function. Like they have
Yeah.
like the backpack, which has like little miniature wipes in it, where it's like I don't even know what that's gonna wipe up. Like,
Oh
is
yeah.
that like is that for your nails? I don't understand. And then they have like these little tiny clip pieces for your earbuds. Like there's all
Oh.
these different accessories now. There's like like we said the backpacks, but then there's like different little pieces that you can clip in for other things. And I'm like,
Yeah.
whose fingers are doing this? Like, who is able to do that? I would have a cup with like a backpack on it. One, I'd lose it.
Yeah.
And two, I wouldn't be able to like clip it all in and like open up the little bag and take all like the little things out. But Anyways, I just don't know what the obsession is.
Well, I
Like,
wondered, are they using it as a purse? Are they like a
sort
credit cards
of.
and stuff in there? Sort of,
Yeah.
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 But
They're using their
yeah.
Stanley Cup as like their purse with like the backpack and they put like their keys in there and stuff. I'm like,
Oh my
so the Stanley Cups are just getting like more obnoxious. So it's like the
Yeah.
more they're adding, the more obnoxious it's looking, the more beige is going on. Like I can't stand it, but I can't look away. It's like a car accident. I can't look away.
No,
Oh
it's like
God.
those videos. Do you see those videos where there's like girl? It's like ASMR, and the girls come in and they put little things on that covers their boots, and they have all these little devices that do all these little things, and they're like spinning. They do this, they clean this, they do that, and it's like all of these little things they're doing.
It gives me so much anxiety because I'm like, am I a piece of shit? Like, is this how I should be living? Because I don't live like this. Like, there's this one girl, and the inside of her house, like, everywhere she goes, she cleans when she gets in there. Like, she has, like, a portable toilet brush she brings with her. And I'm like, no, I can't. Do you, but I can't. Like, that's too
No.
much for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I just don't like the added steps. Like I'm exhausted. So when we're taking milk and putting it in like a clear milk container, I'm like, that's a step. Then you have to
Yeah.
like throw out the container and then wash the clear milk container. There's like 3 to 4 added steps in there. I'm
Yeah, that's
tired.
that's the thing. I don't want all these extra dishes. I can't do that. Like all these
No,
no.
none of it's convenient. That's what I don't understand. Like none of this is convenient. But
Exactly. Meanwhile, I carry around an Architecture Digest tote with my like Gucci purse stuffed inside of it, a fucking giant water bottle in there that I refill everywhere I go, and like just like a million receipts just crunched up at the bottom. You know what I mean? I got some like Italian candy that I stole from some restaurant in Vegas last time I was there.
honestly, like some of the shit that I find in my bags, especially when I'm with the kids. You know what I took out with me the other day? I didn't even give a shit. I took out a Walmart grocery bag with me, and I was like, "Let's go!" Like we're going to a pool. Where I'm like, "Let's go." Who cares? Like I don't care. Uh, speaking of kids, guess who's pregnant? I know you know. The whole world knows. Can we just talk about it for a minute?
Yes, yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We haven't talked about
Gypsy's
her in a minute.
pregnant. Gypsy's pregnant.
Miss Gypsy's pregnant.
She's gonna be a mama.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
I'm not shocked. I knew it was coming. I felt it was coming.
How?
Because look at her. You know what I mean? Like she's getting down. She's with this guy. She's in love. She's whatever, you know? Um, but
Good.
it's just, I'm so happy for her. Like I'm literally so happy for her, but like I'm low key kind of nervous because like I'm hoping that she is getting proper help to deal with the trauma that she suffered through. So like something weird doesn't happen with this child. Do you know what I mean? Like I honestly think in my head that she's gonna like go above and beyond to be the best possible mother ever to do the opposite. But I mean, I hope that nothing weird's happening because of what she's been through, you know?
I think that she has like a really good support system. I've watched some of her show. Well, actually, some of it. I'm all caught up to her life after lockdown or whatever, life after prison, Gypsy
Yeah.
Rose. Um, And I have to say, from watching it, I'm like, thank God she's not with Ryan anymore. Like,
Yeah.
the more I was watching it, the more I was realizing, like, they were not good together at all. He would speak over her. She would be on the phone with her parole officer. He would be trying to take the phone to speak for her. He felt like, to me, it felt like he was very, a, like, I don't want to say like a father figure because he wasn't that. He was just very controlling,
Yeah.
diminishing. And you could just tell, like, she just had zero sparkle. She always had to argue. He always complained about her family in such a rude way. Um, and just like you would see her light up around other people. And then as soon as he would come around or contact her, she would just shut right down.
Yeah. I
Like,
noticed that too. Like, They seemed a little awkward, and I like, you know, and that's the thing, and that's another thing I've seen. I was like, this Ken guy, what is going on? But honestly, like, she looks so in love with him, so in love. And the way that she would mute herself, like, or she would diminish herself to let Ryan shine or whatever
Mm-hmm.
and she was so like, there was a sadness about it, you know? But the way that
Mm-hmm.
she lights up around Ken and everything, like, at first I was worried about him, but now I'm like, she loves him. Like, she really, really loves him.
She is
And
so in love.
yes, yes. And oh my God. But it's a little messy. Like I was seeing that like she posted like the date of the baby was concepted and
What? I didn't see that. What?
yes, she like said the date that she like conceived.
What
Like
day
she
was
talked
it?
about it.
What did she say? No, what did she say though? Was it like a special day?
No.
You know why she's doing that, right? You know why she's doing that? Because she's only 12 weeks and she's very recently separated from Ryan. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people think that it's Ryan's baby, but she's also kind of played herself a little bit too because her divorce isn't finalized. So in the law, or where is she, Louisiana,
Yeah.
technically when that baby is born, because their divorce won't be finalized, Ryan's name needs to go on the birth certificate as the baby's father
Oh,
until a DNA test is taken to prove that it's Ken.
that's crazy.
Isn't
I
it
mean, it's
fucked
weird.
up?
Some of these states have like old laws, you know, like I think Ohio has something similar to that because my mom just went through like an adoption court case, it's a situation in my family. But anyways, yeah, there was something like that where like the mother is still married to somebody and it was whatever. Anyways, I shouldn't talk about that much. But I okay, you were
That's wild.
yeah. And it's just like that's sad because it's scary with that law kind of like that because like people get stuck with like abusive partners, you know what I mean? And they have to get their permission for things like that. And then the you know, they're technically on the like birth certificate. That has to be changed. That really does. Because that could go really wrong in some cases. Um but do you want to know some tea?
He'll have all the parental rights.
It's so messed up. It's so messed up. There is a rumor on TikTok that I saw that people were saying they saw him on Grinder, Ken. People were saying that Ken was on Grinder, like the gay hookup app.
What?
Yes,
How long ago?
like not that long ago. But you know what? People make up shit. You know what I mean?
People make up profiles for this shit.
Yeah. And everyone likes to be like, oh, they're gay, you know, about everything. So I don't know. I don't know. But that was a weird rumor on the internet that I saw. I just feel like with Ryan, like, I feel like Gypsy babies him a lot. You know what I mean? And I think that she feels so insanely guilty for what she did, you know, leaving him after they got married, after, you know, getting out of prison, stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
she had to follow her heart, you know? And I think that you know, because she called him to let him know, Ryan know, that
Mm-hmm.
she was pregnant before releasing it to like the media and stuff. And I think that she has like a really soft spot for him, but not in a like a romantic love kind of way, you know?
I think for her, I think that Ryan could have been I think Ryan would be a great partner to the right person because he seems to be very just like, I'll dive in and do the most for you. But I mean, like, he was buying her lingerie when she wasn't even out of prison. It was so obvious in the documentary, her first night out of prison, that she did not want to be touched or anything. And he was very much like kind of, I don't want to say pressuring, but like kept dropping the hints or like kept trying to come on to her or say the things. And it's just like, I felt bad for her like that because she was literally physically pushing her hands away from him, being like, I just need to be for a minute. And he just
Yeah.
wouldn't let up. And then she's in one episode showing a whole pile of all this lingerie that she has from him. And I'm like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, give the girl a
Yeah.
second to figure out what lingerie she even likes. You know what I mean? Like, She's not here just to please you. That's just kind of the vibe that I was getting.
Yeah, yeah, same. I think he thought like she was gonna come out of prison and be like Stepford wife and like it was gonna be a certain I think he had a very different picture of what was gonna happen. And obviously like I mean, a man writing to women in prison and then gets married to them, like I mean maybe some people have the right intentions, but there's a lot of room for bad intentions there.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this one last thing about it. I was looking at his profile the other day just to be like, oh my god, have you said anything? And I noticed that he doesn't follow a lot of people, but the one girl that he does follow looks like Gypsy. And I
Oh
was like,
God.
man's got a type. He's got a type.
Oh my God. So I have been watching this show. Talk about crazy people and people in prison. I have been watching this show called Worst Roommate Ever on Netflix.
Ooh, I've seen
And
season 1, but I haven't seen season 2.
oh God, season 2 just dropped, okay? And I gotta tell you, it's not like, oh, I had the worst roommate ever. This happened or that happened or they didn't pay or whatever. Like, it's like I had the worst roommate ever and then they murdered everybody. You know? And then they chopped them into pieces and threw them in bags. And then they killed the cat. It's like
Were they good
serial
around the
killer
house
shit.
at least? Were they good around the
Yes.
house at least? I'd be like, well, you know, at least they like put their dishes away. Like, do you
Yeah.
keep your little side life?
They
Don't
did
forget
have a
mom.
they did have a body in the fridge, but they cleaned their dishes, you know?
They're paying a little bit more rent because they have the bigger bathroom. So like,
Yeah.
I can't lose this situation right now. So
Yeah.
turning
Yeah,
a
they need a
blind
bigger
eye.
bathroom. They need a bigger bathroom for the bodies cleanup, you know?
I just pretend not to see it because like that's like $400 more rent that they pay, and like the economy sucks. So I just don't pay attention.
I just had to go with
Wear my
it, you
headphones
know?
at night.
Yeah.
Plus, like the couch is his, so
Yeah. Oh my God. That's hilarious.
oh my god, people are so fucked up. Like you don't know what you're getting into though, for real. Like you really don't.
No, you really don't at all. You really don't.
Uh-uh.
You really don't.
No, that's why I never had a one night stand. Honestly,
Yeah.
I was too scared because of that. Because I watched too
Yeah.
many murder documentaries.
I know. I know. I have been put myself into a lot of bad situations where I could have just been chopped up. Do you know what's crazy? I dated a guy for a while and there was a lot of issues and it just ended with it ended badly with me being like, I never want to see you again. You're a terrible person. And like there was a rumor that like he cut someone's brakes or something that I knew. And then like 6 months after I broke up with him, I see a clip on the news and they were like, Sherman Oaks man is responsible for a double homicide. And it was the photo of my ex.
Kyle.
Yeah, yeah. And it said that he murdered his mother and then killed himself and tried to kill the dad. Um, but
Murdered his
after,
own
yeah,
mother.
a year later, the forensics came out and actually he was the victim. His dad killed him and the mother. But
Oh,
for the
okay.
longest time, the news had said that he was responsible. And I just like, I remember like I even like called my mom and when I was like crying, I'm like, I dated a murderer.
I don't know what I would do. I I would be deleting every photo off the internet. I would be like, how do I erase this from my memory? Oh my god,
Yeah.
I would be going over every encounter and be like, was he gonna kill me? Was that the night I was gonna be murdered?
No, but honestly, like it got a little scary, you know? But it was sad. I mean, yeah, I mean, his dad killed him because he was gay in the end. And then the mom
Eek.
was trying to stand up for him and that's what happened. But they led me to believe that I dated a murderer.
Oh my god. You can write a book on that. I
Girl,
want.
the book has been in the works. I gotta get it together. Are you watching anything?
Okay, so I'm still watching Desperate Housewives, duh. But I've been watching the America's Sweetheart, the
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. I need to say it. The girls are gorgeous, and they know what they're getting themselves into. They know what they're up for. But I do, even with that said, I still feel really bad for them, like the way that like some comments that were made about them during their tryouts and everything, I think were a little bit harsh. But do you know that they barely make any money?
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but my friend is like, she like really watched it in detail, and she was telling me that, yeah, like they made hardly any money, and some of them have like crazy like professional degrees, and they're like being treated like, high schoolers.
One is a dental hygienist, and she goes and works her 9 to 5, and then they she goes straight to the stadium after. So they have to show up an hour before practice, and they have to look photo shoot ready. Like they need to look like
Yeah.
performance ready. And it's like that itself. I don't know if they're allowed to show up and get ready there. I don't know. But I'm like, that is so much. And the one girl said that I don't know, because then they released another statement and it seemed like she was forced to backtrack. But she said that she probably made as much as somebody that works at Chick-fil-A. And
Oh.
it's like the amount of like hours that they're putting into this, the amount of talent that they have, the amount of exposure, the amount like of everything that they're bringing to the team. And they make, I think it was like $75 a game or something, or they get like
Uh,
overtime or some sort of like residual or whatever.
oh. But you know what though? I mean, those girls are doing it because it's iconic. You know what I mean? Like they're doing it because they're
Yeah,
going to
but so's
forever.
playing football. So is being a
Yes.
football player. That's
Yeah.
iconic, and they're
And
making
they're making
bank.
millions. They're making millions. They should, no, I would say they should be paid. They should be paid well for that. Because that's like, Dallas Cowboy, it's like the hardest thing to get. And it's like, they're so public. It's always there. I mean, I was obsessed when Dolly put her Dallas Cowgirl suit on and did the
Hmm.
show with a little bodysuit underneath there. But like, yeah, they should be making more money, you know what I mean? But when they're an old grandma, they're like, guess what I did? You know what I mean? Like to their grandkids. There's also husbands, rich husbands. There's oil tycoon in Dallas husbands.
Yeah, that's how they make their money. They get picked up,
Yes.
picked up by the fans. No, I just think it's kind of one of those things that's what they use as a selling point. Like,
Yeah.
you're not making that much money doing this, but you get to do something special and you get to be a part of something. Like, I feel like it's giving me very much like pyramid scheme vibes, you
Oh yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, this is an opportunity. The girls don't mind that they're not making money. The girls don't mind
Yeah.
that they have to like work a full-time job, then come back to their full-time job, you know? And never mind
Yeah.
the physical things that are happening to them. Like they do this like jump split where they land it. And one girl has had to have surgery because of it. Like they all get injured and like it's really hard on their bodies. We'll move on. We'll move on. Let's get to our listeners' tea.
Okay, so the first one is I met the perfect man on a flight and I have been texting him ever since, but the problem is he lives in another state.
That's a low light.
Yeah. Yeah, but also it could be a highlight if you're into it. Like, I don't want some man up in my shit all the time. Like, a long distance relationship was one of my best relationships because I had a lot of alone time, but then it was exciting to see them and we would do little fun things. But that is a low light. It kind of sucks.
I mean, depending on where they live, if you want to set up shop there and it's a serious thing, it could be a highlight. But I just think
Yeah.
low light. I think that
Yeah.
from my experience, like dating someone when I was living in LA and they lived in Australia, like that was hard because we also had like the time difference and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just feel like like, I don't know, I would just say it's a low light. I just wouldn't do it. Find someone local. Unless you really just want an adventure and you want to get out there and you want to try something new. But you just need to be careful because, once, let's say you talk to this guy for how long, and then all of a sudden you guys are meeting up and you're doing whatever, and then it's like, okay, well, where's one of us going to set up shop? So in my situation, I was lucky because modeling for me was like a very easy transition, right? And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
a freelance job, so it's different. But like if you have to really set up shop and then all of a sudden it doesn't work,
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
know.
no. Well, that's like with me with hair. I can't leave. Like if I would go to somewhere else, I would have to start from round one. And it would be 17 years in the making down the tube for me to restart again. Like you just can't
Mm-hmm.
do that like that
But
with
if
some
you're looking
jobs.
just to have fun and you want to like, go and see their city or just enjoy like kind of, I mean, like there's a lot of benefits of long distance. And I thought the number one was is that how much you actually have to communicate and talk.
Yeah.
So I would FaceTime with my ex sometimes for like, we would go like 13 hours straight. It was, I'm not kidding you, Kyle. It was so messed up. There would
Oh
be
my
times where like
God.
I wouldn't even sleep or he wouldn't sleep. Like it was so messed up because you would just, that's all you can do is talk. And we just connected so well that we were able to talk about anything for hours, right? So like
Yeah.
you get to know a person on a completely different level in that sense, but then when you meet them in person, some of the other things might not connect as well. Like for me, everything connected automatically, but then over time, living together, that's when it was like, okay, you know, the cameras are off, the rose colored glasses are fading. This is
Yeah.
real life and it's different, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how it happened with my long distance relationship is that we both had these separate lives, okay? And when we would go to visit each other, we had that life together, you know what I mean? But when I
Mm-hmm.
would go into his world, I was in his world with his friends and his whatever, and that was complicated. And like he didn't really fit into my world that well either when he would be here with me in LA. So we were always just kind of like alone together, but like when I would go hang out with his friends, like that was the biggest issue because his friends were
Mm-hmm.
like did not like me and probably for good reason.
You're like, I don't blame them for hating me, but like, whatever. But that's the thing though, that you like just like over romanticize and you fantasize and you're like, this is what like our relationship would look like this. And you like build this image of your relationship up in your head. And then sometimes it's beautiful and it works and it's great, but it's not going to be exactly what, you thought it was going to
Yeah,
be.
yeah. But I think, you know what? Have a little fun,
Yeah,
have a
have
hot girl
fun.
summer.
Yeah, just prepare
Have a little
for,
hot girl summer in a different city for a second.
yeah, just prepare to have your heart broken.
Yeah,
Sunken.
yeah. Yeah, don't get too serious.
It's gonna be messy when you want to move home. Just
Yeah. Yes, we know about that.
Hmm.
Okay, so the next one, this one's going to be a funny one, okay? She says, I drunkenly slept with my brother-in-law's best friend on vacation in Myrtle Beach. She says, I'm not even the slightest bit interested in him, but the problem is that we're always hanging out in the same group of friends. So she's got to see him all the time.
What do you think?
Okay. No, it's definitely a low light. It's definitely a low light. From somebody who, like, I lived in a high rise for a minute and I slept with several people in the same building as me. Like, I had to see them in the elevator when I was with somebody else, or I was going to a hoe phase, okay, whatever. But it was so, it's just awkward. It's just awkward. But,
I think it's a highlight. I think you
yeah?
have a big secret. I think that is fun. I think that
Yeah.
there's always going to be the what if of is this going to happen again? Does anybody know? It's just a little power play. It's just a little fun. That's how
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, as long, like, you're two adults.
Yeah, you just gotta, like, for me, this is a weird thing about me being trans, is that I'm actually friends with a lot of my exes. And, like, we're really close friends, and it's not weird at all, but, like, sometimes we'll be, like, in a conversation about something with somebody else, and then we'll, like, reference back to, like, something that happened when we were, like, hooking up or something, and, like, everyone's, like, so weirded out by it. They're like, what?
Wait a
And it's, like,
second, what?
several of my closest friends I've slept with because when I was a boy before, we dated and we just had so much in common and it didn't work out. And
You're
now
just
I
great
like
friends.
transition. Yeah, and we're just like great friends. We're not like sexually attracted to each other in any way, but it is awkward sometimes when we like reference back to things that happen. But like, here's
Whatever.
my thing with this though. Listen, girl. Dirty Myrtle brings out the feralness in all of us, okay? We've all done some things in Myrtle Beach. I got banned from Sandals nightclub, okay?
God, why? They they have a nightclub?
There's a nightclub in Myrtle Beach called Sandals Nightclub, okay? And listen, there was an incident involving some Benadryl mixed with moonshine and a cigarette that went out into the carpet on the dance floor, and I fell, and
Where'd you get the moonshine from?
a friend.
A friend in Myrtle Beach, or did you like show up with your moonshine?
The friend showed up with the moonshine.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
Yes, it's homemade, old school redneck moonshine, honey. Like that, it's called like apple pie, cinnamon flavored.
Oh my god, stop.
Yeah, but you know what? Crazy things happen in Myrtle Beach. Crazy things happen when you're having fun and being messy. It's just a funny story. I think it's going to be all okay.
That's what I mean. It's a highlight. It's just a fun story. You don't need to let anybody know. What is it, your brother-in-law? He doesn't need to know. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine. We're like, just both be mature about it. It is what it is. Okay, so we have one more thing. And says, okay, so my ex-boyfriend is dating my arch-nemesis / bitch cousin. Shady.
I think, I don't know.
You don't know?
A highlight or a low light. No, because if it's a highlight, then like you can seek your revenge. You can, so wait, so your ex is dating your cousin, which means that at big functions, your cousin's probably going to bring your ex around, which means that you can just like look top notch. And like, shame on the cousin. That's messed up.
It is messed up, but she called her her bitch cousin, so that is messy.
No, I'd be this is where my toxicity comes out. It's coming out. It's coming out. I would just.
Well, at least the family already knows. What?
Well, I would just start fucking around on all the family holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. It's a highlight. If you want to be toxic, it's a highlight. If you're a mature, grown woman and you don't want to have anything with it, it's a low light.
It's just funny because I'm like, did he really just like their grandma's cooking? You know? He's just like, I want to stay in this family. I want to hang around.
Grandma Rosie makes some delicate potato salad.
That potato salad is worth it.
I just don't even know. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
you could just like flex on him at every holiday.
Totally.
You know?
Totally.
You get real creepy with it and sit across from him and like have your cleavage out and then like accidentally hit his calf with your foot. Oops. You can totally, this is what I mean. I'm toxic. All the things. You can do all of the things.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like the highlight is if they're both terrible, then they deserve each other.
They deserve each other. No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Make sure you guys send us your juice. Send us your tea. Like, we know you got some like juicy stuff going on. Send it in.
Send it to us. We'll talk about it. We'll dissect it. We're not going to judge you harshly. We're going to have fun with it. And we're going to let you know, like, hey, that's not that bad. Or, yeah, no, that's messed up.
Yeah, maybe when we do our highlights and lowlights discussion about it, like, you can, like, see some good in it, something.
A new perspective. See what you think is really low. We're like, no, girl.
No, girl, you got it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, thanks so much for listening. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.